うん、俺はもう準備万端だ。
Hey, what's up, man? Hello. Sorry. I'm alright. I'm off tonight. I hate how this game doesn't work with my monitor. It starts looking really choppy for, like, no reason. It's really obnoxious. I can't stand it. I'm gonna like do this to make it work normally. Alright, is it gonna work now? Alright, no more looking choppy. It does, yes, it does. I might check that game out actually. Just not now. Not now. It's nice to see them like going back to stuff they used to make before Souls games got so popular. They used to make like a lot of different kinds of games, but then Souls printed money and they kind of stopped honoring their legacy. Seems like it's doing pretty well, so maybe the publishers would be like, yeah, you don't need to make another Souls game. You can actually make something different. They're probably tired of making those games too, to be honest. Would not surprise me. People were like, look, people that make the games are like sick of Souls. Gotta make things in a very specific way, otherwise people don't like those games, so probably refreshing to work on something else for a change. I don't know how viable Melee is in that game though, but I might check it out maybe when it's on sale or something. Doesn't look half bad. This boss takes so long to kill. Annoying blue set. It's just not fun to fight. Can't tell what she's doing. Takes too many attempts to do this. Kinda just want to skip this boss. Just obnoxious to fight. Because everybody is playing it. Everybody is playing that game. It's boring. Boring when everyone streams the same game. That's why. There's value in streaming something that not everybody else is streaming. I wish more people would understand that. The game does look pretty good. No, I'm not. Would you listen to what I'm saying? I'm not saying the game is bad. Where did I say the game was bad? I'm saying that sometimes it's nice to have a stream that's not playing what everyone else is playing. Because you might not be interested in it. Or you don't want to watch 30 people play the same game. There's a difference. I didn't say the game was bad. Did you just hear me? No, I'm not. All the stream title means is there's going to be different games. That's all. I've actually been watching a lot of the game myself. It looks pretty cool, but there's also like 36 people on my following list streaming it, so it gets a little stale. That's all. You're looking too far into something that's meant to be a joke. You're looking too far into something that's meant to be a joke. You're trying to find something deep or contrarian in it that I'm not saying. You see this happen every time there's... See this happen every time there's a big game. If you stream something else, a lot of times people will come in and thank you for not streaming what's popular. It's not saying the game is bad. You don't have to leave. You're taking it too hard, man. You're not letting me explain myself. I don't know why people get so, like, shocked when I don't play, like, the main popular stuff. I probably will try that game. It actually looks decent. But, not right now. No, I'm not like that with everything that comes out. If there's a popular game I like, I'll play it. There just hasn't been one lately, that's all. Most of the popular games that have come out I've had, like, no interest in, or I did try them and they had terrible PC ports, so I'd stop playing them. I don't know why people take my title so seriously. Just fucking around, like, it's not this big contrarian statement. Most people don't understand the nature of streaming video games. There are people who actually, like, ignore, they don't play the popular games because they know it's gonna kill their channel. That's all I'm really saying with the title. I'm not saying the game is bad. Good example is when FF16 came out. There were a lot of speedrunners playing that game, and they weren't playing their speedrun game. And their viewership tanked. Like, actually, not streaming something that's popular can have good results, but people just think you're trying to be cool by not streaming it. It's like, no, there's a legitimate reason to not stream something like that, or maybe just like play it offline. I don't think people have ever seen like a speedrunner try to play a game like that, because their viewership goes in the toilet. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to make this deep philosophical statement. I follow a lot of people that play different games, and when FF16 came out, all of them were getting like less than half of their viewership. And I think Armored Core is a better spectator game for sure. I think more people would watch you play that than like FF16, because it's not like a heavy story focus. But it's still going to be the same thing. When everybody is streaming something, you're going to get a lot of people that won't want to watch for various reasons. Could be spoilers for one. If the game is heavy on story, people won't watch you play it. Or they just get tired of people seeing the same game. That's it. Yeah, it does look pretty cool. It does look pretty cool. I don't know, I think that guy left. I'm sorry he didn't seem to want to listen to reason. This frustrates me when people don't listen to what I'm saying. Some people just don't understand how streaming works. You might want to play something, but it might be legit bad for your channel to play it. Like, FF16 was completely killing streams because it was like a good 60 to 80 hours of gameplay and you know, a heavy story focus, so people didn't want to watch it. There were definitely some people that played that game offline for that exact reason. Nothing against the game. It's just like not the best stream game. I think Armored Core is a way better stream game. Yeah, you're fine, dude. You gotta let me enjoy the... You gotta listen to what I'm saying. I'm just explaining how streaming popular games works. It's not,
もっと来てよ
it's not always the be-all, end-all way to success that people think it is. In a lot of ways, it can be the opposite. People that do like speedrun content, they play like Elden Ring, they were getting way less viewers. Elden Ring's a good game, but if you're known for something else, a game that long can just like completely kill your viewership. So, this happens every time a big like hyped game comes out. So I just try to have some variety, but if there is a popular game that I want to play, I'll definitely stream it. There just hasn't been one for a while. A lot of the new games coming out I haven't really cared for. Well, thank you for understanding. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong, dude. I think people that don't stream don't understand, why you might not want to stream a game like that. Just because everybody else is doing it. I don't know, streaming's weird. You might think that, like, streaming something that's, like, mega popular will help, but when everybody else in their cat is doing it, they're gonna pick, like, the biggest person known for playing that kind of game, and everybody else is kind of just fighting for table scraps. It's always been that way. Unless you get some kind of luck, like, I don't know, Kotaku sees you put Shrek in the game or something, and then people come to your channel. That's about it. Well, thank you for sticking around, man. Also, I did try to play popular games this year, but I got screwed over by bad ports, so that ruined things. That's no one's fault, really. I wanted to make guides for Wild Hearts, but it just ran so poorly. I probably could have gotten some people to follow for playing that, but wasn't meant to be. Wo Long as well. Wo Long's port was just awful. I'm willing to give a game a chance, but when it runs like that badly, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather just play my normal weeb trash that just works. I don't have to fight with the game just to get it to play properly. Wo Long's supposed to be getting like a major update soon. I wonder if they'll actually fix the game. They wrote a typical apology tweet for that game. I honestly feel bad for the people that had to work on that game, because it's like just not possible for it to be as good as Neo, but it's all it's gonna get compared to. Also, I did play Diablo 4. That game got no views. For the exact reason. That's the most recent popular game I played, was Diablo 4. And no one was watching for the reasons I mentioned. There are, people who specialize in that kind of game that were playing it. Are not gonna watch me play it. It's just the nature of game specialists. That's kind of the downside, is you might play something out of your comfort zone and people just generally won't watch. Nothing really personal. It's just like there's There's somebody better doing the exact same thing. They're gonna go there. I do it too, that's why I don't really complain about it. I totally get it.
私についてきて
There's people that put like thousands of hours into those games that can give you a better opinion than
私の邪魔をする
somebody like me who I have played those games in the past, but I'm not like an expert at them. You know, it's better to go there instead. Yeah, the most popular game I played was a couple months ago, Diablo 4. But the game was not very good, so I stopped playing it. They've already announced the second season for that game. I feel like they're desperate.
これはベストコンビだ。
私も行きます
ダンシュが咲き誇る。彼らの罪を清算し、夜を切り裂く。彼らの罪を清算しよう。
みんなを守る情けないやつ楽しんでくるとするわさっき私足引っ張ってなかったですよね私についてきて恐れることはないわあがいてみせて私の邪魔をするずいぶんいい度胸をしてるやん
I think Armored Core will have better viewership for people that don't normally play that kind of game, just because of the builds. That was one thing that kept Neo. Neo had pretty good viewership, even for people that like don't normally play that kind of game. There were a lot of different ways to play. It's generally narrative-focused games can really kill your stream for pretty obvious reasons. It's a lot of stuff to watch, and it pushes you away from watching anyone else who's playing that same game. I'm telling you guys, FF16 was killing the people I watch. I think one of them I watched, he started playing it offline because his viewership was in the toilet. That sucks. The game looks pretty good, but not the best stream game, unfortunately. $50 for 7,500 black cards is actually pretty good. I'll probably get that when I get paid. This next patch is the big money spender one where people are gonna spend like thousands. But yeah, if I bought that, I could pretty much guarantee get SS3 Balter. So I will probably do that. I haven't really been spending much on this game lately. But yeah, Balter's a must-have for the physical team, so I'll probably cough up some cash. But right now, I'm free to play. I'm not spending any money on that game right now. They're probably gonna reach record profits. Record profits when she comes out. Pretty high chance. bring in the big bucks. Will I be streaming the Ninja Turtles DLC next week? Yeah, I already paid for that. I'll give it a chance. I didn't like the base game that much, but it looks like they're fixing the problems. They have more unique characters and a more replayable mode, because the main game is a little bit long for a beat 'em up. a little bit long. It's definitely the longest modern beat 'em up for sure, I would say. For casual play, it's a good like 20-30 minutes longer than Streets 4. So it's nice that they're gonna have something more pick up and play. It looks really good. I watched the video they put up today. Yeah, I got money on my Steam account for that, so. Somehow that was a B rank. It's like Transformers Devastation. I don't know how that was a B rank. I'm sorry, I think that gameplay was better than a B rank. I beg to differ, video game. That was better than a B rank. If I cared about score, I would reset, but I'm just playing for fun. handled that better than I ever did before, and it gave me a worse rank. Probably because I didn't overkill. That's probably why. Bad fight. It's a pretty bad fight. Whatever, I'll take it. At least the health is pretty good. Got like almost 2 bars, not bad. Let's see what upgrade it's gonna give me. What do we got here? You know, I'd rather take the super armor than the vampirism. I'd rather take the super armor. He's really reliant on his light attacks, so I'm thinking that's probably the best thing to take from here. Not really finding anything build defining yet, though. We'll keep playing. Unless it just gets really boring. Now I'll probably switch to BlazBlue. BlazBlue got a patch. BlazBlue got a patch yesterday. I played like 1 run with it. 1 or 2 runs with it. Games are good. How you doing? Before anyone else asks, Armored Core looks really good. It's just everyone and their cat is streaming it. That's all. Don't think I hate the game. I've actually been watching quite a bit of it. Looks pretty cool. It's just sometimes streaming not the popular game can be beneficial. Depends on the kind of game it is. FF16, perfect example of a game that you think that people would watch you play, but they actually will not. Armored Core doesn't have that problem, thankfully. I think more people will watch you play that over like a story-focused game for sure. Yeah, FF16 was like a stream killer for a lot of people. It's just killing their stream, which sucks. They're having fun playing it, but it's just not a very good stream game. Yeah, I might check out the Armored Core maybe when it's like $30 or something. Yeah, generally when a big game comes out, there'll always be somebody who thanks you for not playing it. Like, even if you're interested in it, like, not playing it when everyone else is can be a good thing. It depends. But yeah, that game looks pretty legit. I mean, Armored Core is a really old series. It's cool that the fans have gotten a new game. I don't know how the fans feel about it, though. I don't know. I've never played an Armored Core before. But I'm sure they feel the same way that Mega Man fans do. How they don't make Mega Man anymore, but they make a Resident Evil game every year. It's pretty much the same thing with Armored Core, I would imagine. they make a million Souls games and they don't make, like, Tenchu or anything. Old series that they're known for have all been pretty much abandoned. So I think it's a good sign that they'll start doing stuff like that again. They had like 100,000 concurrent players yesterday. Oops. No, I'm pretty sure they're already deciding to do that. Armored Core was the new one. That's like a big risk for them to like go away from something that's guaranteed to print money. You know, just make another Souls game. I think they'll probably start revisiting a lot of their older franchises now that they know that their legacy stuff, like the pre-Souls stuff, is like actually has an audience. Like, people will actually buy it, play it. A lot of times it's publishers that prevent studios from not doing the same thing over and over as well. They're probably tired of making Souls games. Like, I have like no doubt in my mind. They're tired of making games with that formula, but until they start self-publishing, they're at the mercy of whoever funds them to make the games. So I think they'll probably start getting more variety in the games they make, for sure. It's pretty obvious they will. Now they have proof that they can make something besides the Souls game and people will still buy it. Which not every developer has the luxury for either. You know, there's all the studios that got forced to make Call of Duty games until the end of time now. I'll probably pass judgment on maybe playing that game if I see like a good melee build for it or something. Like, that's why they don't make Basara anymore, because there's a very loud vocal minority like me that wants another one, but, you know, Capcom's like, we could just get you guys to make next year's Resident Evil and make, like, way more money. Which sucks, but that's just the reality of things. It's the reality of it, unfortunately. Make a more $1 billion if they make the umpteenth Resident Evil, but like a Mega Man or Basara is a big risk that they're not really allowed to take. Yeah, the Exo Primal kind of goes against everything I'm saying. People wanted a new Dino Crisis. The trailer basically catfished everybody. They thought it was a Dino Crisis, and it's not. I feel really bad for the fan base. They gave them the opposite of what they wanted. We want an actual Dino Crisis. We don't want another co-op shooter, which there's already a lot of. I don't really understand who Exo Primal is for. It feels like they're trying to compete with Overwatch, which is funny because Overwatch is kind of failing right now. The fact that they put that game on Steam is all the proof you need that that game is not doing it's not doing the numbers they were expecting. Because companies like Blizzard and Epic, they only put stuff on Steam when it's like it didn't make the sales projections. That's why, like, FF7 Remake and Neo The World Ends With You were on Steam. It was like nobody bought them on Epic. Like, no one bought those games on Epic. Stranger of Paradise as well. Like, they got that off Epic, like, pretty quick. But I guess the Kingdom Hearts games, like, actually sell, so that's why they're still stuck on Epic. Companies would be a lot more quicker to be consumer-friendly when the product doesn't meet their unrealistic expectations. Neo, The World Ends With You is like a really good game, but it didn't sell, so it's on sale, like, constantly, and they got it off Steam. They got it off Epic, like, pretty quick. Like, Kingdom Hearts games have been on Steam for, not on Steam for like 2 years now. Close to 3 years, actually. It was like the beginning of, I think 2021. Those games were put on Epic. That's also why we got, Lost Judgment, the Judgment games on Steam. Because the whole thing with that was the agency for the main actor, the Kimutaku guy, they didn't want the game to be sold on PC because they didn't want his likeness to be modded. They didn't want people to mod him into Shrek or whatever. So they put it on Stadia. They put it on Stadia, which is like, you know, the last place that you want to play a game like that, right? But then Stadia went end of service, so they came to an agreement real fast. You notice companies will stop trying to screw you over when they're not able to do it anymore. They don't have a possibility to screw you over anymore. They'll stop doing it really quick. I knew that was going to happen with Judgment. As soon as they announced that Stadia was going down, like, yeah, they're gonna find some way to put those on Steam, because Sega was pissed about that whole agreement, because the Yakuza games historically sell a lot on Steam, even when they're full price. They do make Yakuza games like dirt cheap after they've been out for like a year or two, but definitely they were pissed that they couldn't put the games on PC. They were not happy about that. Hurts their bottom line. But then Stadia shut down. It's like, well, we have no way to re-release these games anymore. There's no viable way to make it so you can put them on PC, but like not actually run it natively. Yeah, I found that whole thing pretty funny, because it was like... his agency is batshit insane, but then, like, Sega, the people actually making the games, they want it on PC because it makes a lot of money. Okay, did the game just soft lock? I think the game just soft locked. Yeah, I think the game just soft locked, folks. That's the end of this run. Yes, this mode is oddly unstable. It's like it's just a beat 'em up, but like sometimes it just gives out like this. The enemies don't spawn. Yeah, because it's a beat 'em up. When they don't spawn, you're just stuck in purgatory. All right, well, so much for that. Sorry to people who were enjoying that. I was enjoying it too, but that's like the third time that that's happened. Yeah, that mode is kind of like Double Dragon Gaiden. It's like a really fun game, but it's just unstable. It soft locks for like no reason. Yeah, got soft locked. All right, we'll do some Blaze Blue instead. Well, the CEO for Johnny's Associates passed away recently, and I guess they have a new one that's
to the Ace Mine training
less
system.
insane. So, I guess that's why the Judgment games are on Steam, but it was gonna happen anyway. I don't really understand why they're so scared of modding. It's like you're losing money. You're losing a lot of money not having it on PC. And no one bought the game on Stadia either. No one did. I did. I did because I wanted to try the game, but no one bought it. It was like a fraction of the money that they made just for putting it on Steam. But I'm sure you noticed, like, immediately after Stadia shut down, they announced the ports. They announced it so quick. Especially because the Stadia version of Judgment, the first one, was, it was basically just a PC version that wasn't running on your computer. So, they also did one for, I think, Amazon Luna as well. Lost Judgment was on Amazon Luna, I think. And that was like the same thing. It was just a PC port that you didn't have access to. It wasn't actually running on your hardware. So that's why they crapped those ports out so quick when the CEO, they changed ownership of the company. It's like, yeah, you're gonna make like 1,000 times the money, even if the game is full priced at $50, $60. You'll make more money having it on PC than having it on some streaming service that no one wants to use. Funny how that works, huh? People don't really want to stream. They don't really want to stream games in the first place, but they definitely don't want to stream like 60-hour open world action RPG games. That's the kind of thing you want to be able to play whenever you want, right? Not when you have internet at all, and then it also has to be good internet. So, you know, you can't go to like McDonald's or Starbucks and play that, can you? No. Like, thing about streaming games that these companies don't understand is that barely anything works on it. That's like the main problem. It's like it pretty much has to be like a turn-based game or like Hearthstone or something. Even a turn-based game can be like kind of hard to play under input lag because your whole plan can get fucked up. Yeah, I found it very funny when they like instantly put the game on Steam. Like the moment that Stadia stopped being a thing, the Judgment games just kind of miraculously appeared on Steam. Like, yeah, that's no coincidence at all. It's no coincidence. I'm gonna try to get it clear with him on tape. I mean, there's games that need to be always online. You know, MMOs need to be always online and stuff like that. It's when they do it to single-player games that it's just fucking dumb. You know? If I'm playing a single-player game, I want to be able to play it anywhere, right? Especially now with the Steam Deck. You know, like, I played Diablo 4 on my Steam Deck for a while, but then I realized, like, hey, this game takes up 40 gigs, and I can only play it when I'm at my neighbor's house. And the other, like, 100-plus games I have on there are not always online, so if I'm stuck at the bus stop for 2 hours, you know, I can play those games, right? I can't play the game that takes up 40 gigs of the SD card, because I don't have an internet connection. That's why a lot of people say the best version of Diablo 3 is the Switch one, because that's like the only version of the game that has offline mode. Always online for single-player games is dumb. It's anti-consumer. I don't know why I need to call home to a server to play, like, you know, Judgment or something. Why do I need an internet connection to play that? Like, the only online functionality that game has is, like, leaderboards or something. It just doesn't matter. It's nice to have leaderboards, but it's not an excuse for forcing people to be online to play something that doesn't support multiplayer. Yeah, from what I understand, the Judgment ports were, like, already done. I think they might have had to work on them a little bit to put them on Steam, but you were basically already playing a PC port on the streaming services, because they did Lost Judgment as well. Lost Judgment was not on Stadia. It was on Amazon Luna. It was like the premium version of that you had to pay for. The same thing. I think Diablo 3 is a perfect example of why always online is a bad thing, because that game was not playable for like a month. It took like, what, like 2-3 weeks for that game to be playable? Like, people paying a full $60 of their hard-earned money, and the game didn't even work. It's pretty nuts. That Wayfinder game has been like that. That Wayfinder game that just came out. The game actually looks pretty good, but the servers didn't work for like a week. You have a $150 Founders Pack for that game, and the game doesn't even function. You're stuck in a queue. Like, yeah, you shouldn't have Founder Packs that expensive if the game literally doesn't work. It's pushing the boundaries of what people will pay for. Pay $150 for a game to not work is a lot for a lot of people, I think. Oh, I got 2 level ups. Worst boss incoming. Worst boss in this game is this boss. This boss is in the wrong game. You know, Dawn of the Monsters was actually Stadia exclusive as well. And my experience with that game was ruined by the Stadia exclusivity. I have like really good internet, right? The game kept crashing and disconnecting even when I like wasn't downloading anything or streaming. And then I went to the game center. Which has fiber internet, by the way. Well, it's not in business anymore. But they had fiber internet, and the game barely worked over there, too. So it's like you're telling me, when I go to a game center with, like, the fastest internet in the city, that's publicly available at least, and the connection's not good enough. Nobody was in the store. I went there at like, it was like early afternoon because I would usually go to lunch before I would go over there. There's a chicken place across the street. They're telling me that the Stadia can't get a good connection from fiber internet. No one else is in the store but the employees and me.
忙しいんだよ俺は
Yeah, I don't know if people know that, but they took a
遊びじゃねえんだ
they took a contract exclusivity deal for Dawn of the Monsters for like, it was only for like a month or two. But I was like really excited for the game, so I paid for Stadia. It was a dreadful experience. Streaming video games that require manual dexterity and like timing and stuff, it just doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. So I played Young Souls on Stadia as well. Same thing. The game like barely worked. Constantly disconnect. I enjoyed that game for what it was worth. It wasn't great, but it was decent. But the fact that they took a Stadia deal really soured the game for me a lot. Because I was fighting more with Stadia than the actual game. The actual game was making the whole the actual game was, you know, it was playable. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but constantly disconnecting and crashing really kind of soured the experience. Yeah, that Wayfinder game is a good example of how much we've become too accepting of games not working. I'm sorry, if you've got a $150 you got a $150 Founders Pack, that game should fucking work. Should work, like, perfectly. I think it's more the amount of time that it wasn't working that was an issue. I think it's, like, just barely working now, but it went up, like, 5 days ago.
忙しいんだよ俺は
絶対助ける 絶対助ける。
And nothing makes you regret your experience, your decision to buy an expensive video game is then when it you can't log into it like almost a week after it came out. That really makes you regret your adult decisions for sure. Like, yeah, you could have just bought like one of the Yakuza games or something for like $10. You could have bought that instead of buying $150. $150 Founders Pack.
大バカ野郎が邪魔だ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ
Hey, nice. Boy here needs all the help he can get. He's the most RNG dependent character by like a really large margin. Belial Edge and Hell's Fang. I don't think I've gotten those before. Yeah, I haven't tried these potentials before, so even if the run dies, I don't really care. I want to try out some of the stuff I haven't tried before, because I don't have anything really left to do in this game anyway. Kind of already cleared it. Cleared all the content currently in the game. I'll take the play. Let me check these potentials really quick, so I know what I got to work with.
助ける
死にてえんなら前に出ろ
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ
なんだよ
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだようぜえうぜえ落ちろうぜえ知らねえぞ絶対助ける邪魔だで邪魔だうぜえデッドスパイク邪魔なんだよ トスパイクうぜしよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよおりゃうぜ邪魔なんだよ構えなうぜ知らねえぞうぜもちろん知られる邪魔なんだようぜ
Yeah, that Wayfinder game has been a disaster. It's pretty sad because that actually looks like a pretty good game. But in no way is it acceptable to be the game like not working for that long. That's pretty nuts, man. Game doesn't work for like 5 days straight. That's pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable for sure. I mean, some launch issues are to be expected, but I think it took them like upwards of a week to get that game actually playable. I like how people were defending them too, and they even put out a statement saying that it's not acceptable, and people are like, "Oh, it's okay." Like, no, it's not. The people who made the damn game are saying it's not acceptable for the game to not work for like almost a week. Did you guys not play Diablo 3? 'Cause that game was the same thing. The game didn't work for weeks. Full priced. $60 always online game. It wasn't like you know, a fighting game like not having the servers up or something. Like, no, it's like it's always online. If the server doesn't work, the game doesn't work. Like, it's non-functional. Don't go to bat for companies that aren't giving up their part of the deal, like actually giving you something that works. I don't know, man, it's weird. People will be white knights for corporations all the time now. It's strange. It's like, you know, if you go to, like, McDonald's and you're allergic to pickles, and they put pickles in there anyway, I mean, you have a right to complain, right? They gave you a product that you can't use. You know, like, it's in your rights as a customer to, like, actually get compensated. Because you're doing business with them, and they're not doing their part. It's like that woman that sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot. I don't really remember the extent of that story, but yeah, I think the coffee being so hot that it burns your legs is something that should be grounds to pursue about iced coffee that hot. It's supposed to be something you drink. It shouldn't be like burning you.
うぜデッドスパイク
20,000 Q, yeah. Yeah, I saw people being put in like a queue that
邪
took
魔なん
like
だよ
2 or 3 hours to get through.
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよデッドスパイク邪魔なんだよ邪魔だうぜ絶対助ける
On the topic of game companies fucking up, I don't know if any of you know this, but PSO2, the Japanese version, has a launcher, right? It wasn't available through Steam at the time, so you had to use a launcher. You know, like Valorant or Battle.net or Epic Game Store. There was a period in time where the launcher, no joke, I'm not making this up, was randomly deleting files off people's computers. So, randomly. So it could just be like, you know, a meme image or something that's not important, or it could be like your essay that's due tomorrow. That's something that actually happened. And Sega had to give financial compensation to the people that were affected. And what was the worst part about, the funniest part about it was that the gaijin that were playing it, like me, you know, the people that weren't supposed to be playing it, we weren't affected by it because the fan-made launcher did not do that. And yeah, that's something that happened. They swept that under the rug fast, but that's definitely one of the more insane things to happen in an online game. Pretty rare. Yeah, sorry teacher, my essay, I can't put in my essay because a weak trash video game I was playing deleted it randomly. I'm sure that happened to somebody. Yeah, you can go look that up. It's a real thing that happened.
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ大バカ野郎が知らねえぞ邪魔なんだよもちろん知らねえぞ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ
Blood Cane Gauntlet Hades, what is that? I don't think I've ever gotten that one before. Yeah, sure, let's try it. Yeah, that PSO2 thing was pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. They acted pretty fast, but it's like still not acceptable that, you know, you could lose like your essay or like your wedding photos or something because of a video game. I don't know how they determined like how much money you got back, but I guess it was dependent on the severity. I'm sure there were some people that lost like school or work assignments or something, for sure. Just by how many people play that game. There had to be somebody that got screwed over like, really hard by that.
ちろ知らねえぞ落ちろデッドスパイク邪魔なんだよ大バカ野郎が大バカ野郎が邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ知らねえぞ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔だはっって落ちろ邪魔だ構えなデッドスパイク邪魔だうぜえうぜえ知らねえぞデッドスパイク邪魔なんだよ
なんだよ Get out of my way.
邪魔だ
You heard that Japanese phrase before. You probably are a
うぜ
Zhang Liao player in Dynasty Warriors because he says it like constantly. Yamada. Get out of the way.
知らねえぞ
I think the Japanese fans could just call him that. He
落ち
says
ろ
it so
デッ
much.
ドスパイク
Zhang Liao is well known for saying that. It's like his only words, like Pokemon. It's the only thing he says.
うぜえ構えな大バカ野郎が邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよデッドスパイクデッドスパイク
Well, this is a really bad level. I haven't found either of the bosses yet. Let's see. Where the hell is the boss? I kind of really don't like that they have this in this game. I think it would be better to not have this. 'Cause this is what's annoying about almost every action roguelike that's not just combat rooms, is always getting screwed over. The game won't give you the exit. It's a constant problem. I feel like the pacing of this game just kind of falls off a cliff. And most of the time it's okay. But sometimes you get levels generated like this, where it's just like really convoluted path to find the bosses. So now at this point I might as well just clear out the whole thing.
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだようぜ
Definitely think they should make this the algorithm for this generate shorter levels
邪
on
魔なん
average.
だよ
Sometimes you get levels like this where it feels like it's longer than almost the rest of the game.
邪魔なんだよ
Usually I'm fighting a boss by now, but
邪魔だ
yeah, this is going real slow. This must be it over here, maybe.
知らねえぞ邪魔なんだよ
I already got the kill streak, so I guess we'll just go. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a heal. Got 5 more. I don't know how I'm gonna do this boss. I don't really have a lot of burst damage right now, so it's kind of iffy.
大バカ野郎が邪魔なんだよざけんな邪魔なんだよ構えな 邪魔なんだよもらった邪魔なんだよ構えなうぜえんだようぜえカーネ食われろ邪魔なんだよざけんな
Oh, come on, man.
邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ
Darkness Fang. I don't have Soul Devourer, though. That's the problem. So, I don't know if this is worth taking, actually, because I don't have Soul Devour. Because when you have Devoured by Darkness, and you have Soul Devour, it basically heals you to full. And then you just do it again. But I haven't gotten this synergy before, so I'm going to go ahead and try. I've already beaten the game with him, so we'll just go ahead and try it. Yeah, I didn't get Soul Devour at all this run. It never appeared even once, so... larger range is good for Susan, for sure. Well, I've got some new stuff this time, at least. I'll go see if I can get some more synergies to maybe make this more higher chance of actually clearing. Giant Slayer, good choice.
忙しいん
This
だ
is
よ
really
俺は
helping.
絶対助け
Take
る
the heal just so I've got
遊びじゃねえんだぞ
kind of a average run, but I did get to try some new stuff this run. Some synergies I've never tried before. That's pretty much all I've got left to do is try out the builds I haven't tried before.
邪魔なんだよ
Boss should be somewhere over here.
邪魔なんだよ
Jamanandayo.
邪魔だ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだようぜえ構えだ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔なんだよ邪魔だ構えだ邪魔なんだよ落ちろ邪魔なんだよ知らねえぞ落ちろ邪魔なんだよ
死にてえんなら前に出ろ
Let's see, how much burn damage do I actually have? Is that worth taking? No. My only source of burn is dashing and dodging. I'll take the blade ring.
絶対助ける
ったく遊びじゃねえんだぞ
So let me look at these synergies again, because I've never used them before. Okay, so Devoured by Darkness is going to have a larger hitbox and cost less health, which is good, because I don't have Soul Devour. If you have Soul Devour and Blood Cane and Devoured by Darkness, you can take off like half a boss's health, and you get healed to full, and you just do it again. But this time I got stuff that like buffs Devoured by Darkness, but I don't really have the HP sustain. You need to really spam it, so we'll see how this goes. I don't really care if it wipes. I got more. Oh, nice! I didn't hit anything. Got off to a good start.
うぜえんだよ闇に加えろ
Nice. Yeah, Devoured by Darkness is kind of one of the main problems with him.
EVA type generated.
Kind of one of the main problems with him. It's like your main damage dealer, but it's basically a command grab in a roguelike, so if you don't land it, you die. Oh well. I don't know if I feel like doing another one of these right now. I'm starting to get a little bit burnt out. I'm like 32 hours into this game already. Let's try Dawn of the Monsters again. That's about what I expected to happen, especially because they buffed that boss in the last patch. The patch they put out yesterday actually buffed him a lot. Let me go on the Discord. See if anybody else has been reporting those Dawn of the Monsters soft locks, or am I just cursed? Bug report. Yeah. That synergy I got was actually kind of ass, because you can't control where it goes. You need, like, better spacing than just standing there. That's actually one of the things that got me killed, was that synergy. That seems like one of those ones that, like, could be good, but you have to... It has to treat it like a fighting game and really know the spacing. Yeah. I don't really like playing Ragna in that game, though. I think he really needs a buff. He feels too RNG dependent. He's like really reliant on getting the right stuff. Alright, let's give this one more shot. See if the game will let me play it. Got this time. Well, it's not a very good start. None of the stuff he really wants. We'll keep playing though. It's kind of the worst stuff that it gave me. So is anyone playing Armored Core? Does it have, like... How are the builds? I've never played an Armored Core game before. I had friends that liked them, but I never played them myself. I don't really know much about them, like... they're like cool builds you can make. Preferably melee, of course. Just had to look up some videos. Somebody who got the game early or something. Looks pretty interesting. I just wouldn't pay full price for it. I definitely would try a demo if there was one, but there's not. It's not on Game Pass either. It's not something I'm like familiar with, so I wouldn't spend money on that blindly. Yeah, it looks pretty solid. I'm sure the people actually working at the company are probably really happy that they'll be able to make something besides a Souls game now. Seems to be doing pretty well. Especially for the time it's coming out into. Like, there's like Starfield coming out, there's a bunch of other big games as well, so people are going to be a lot more picky with their games for sure, because games are all like $60, $70. Most people don't have money to buy like that many AAA games in a short period of time, so It's definitely a testament to its quality. People are buying it. A lot of people are holding off on these releases because there's just too many of them. Don't have the time and money to play them all. And Armored Core seems to be doing pretty good. I think it's good to see. Yeah, if they had a Game Pass for that, I would probably try it. But $60 for something I might not like is not something I'm really wanting to do. That's all I use Game Pass for, is just trying out stuff. Game Pass actually sucks because you can't use mods. Oh, really? Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah, I've watched a couple hours of footage of that game. It looks pretty cool. It's just, my title is just referring to the fact that everybody's streaming it. It's like, I kind of got a little checked out of it. That's all. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It actually looks like one of the only FromSoft games I actually want to play. It's just, popular games and streaming can be kind of miserable sometimes. I think the worst was like the 2 or 3 weeks that FF16 was popular. That game just sucks to watch. There's just a lot of cutscenes. That's pretty much why that game killed a lot of streams. People were getting like low revenue and stuff. It sucks because they were having fun playing the game, but that game is just probably one of the worst stream games to come out in a while, just because of the heavy story focus. Makes it hard to watch. You have to have about as much commitment as playing the game yourself, which a lot of the popular games don't have that problem. You know, League, League, Overwatch, Street Fighter, those kinds of games. You just kind of just watch it and play, but story-focused stuff is kind of a double-edged sword. Get a lot of content out of it, but a lot of people might not want to watch because of spoilers, or it's too much of a time investment. It's about as much time investment as playing the game yourself, at which point it's like, yeah, I'd probably rather play the game myself than watch somebody. So you can play at your own pace, you're not on the streamer schedule. Armored Core, I don't think will have that problem. I don't think anyone should be playing that much story. It's more of a gameplay-focused game. was the last Armored Core game? It had to be like over 10 years ago, right? I know it's been like the length of time between Armored Core installments is like about as long as the hiatus between DMC 4 and 5. Wasn't the last one like was it like a 360 game or something? Pretty sure it was. Like, real long time ago. Yeah, I don't know anything about this, so I'm being educated by you guys. I know I have a lot of knowledge about video games, but Armored Core I know nothing about. I have an IRL friend that likes it. And he's probably, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's probably really happy right now. I'm going to assume so. I don't know if they made like any changes or dumbed it down or anything. When was the last Tenchu? Wasn't the last Tenchu like 2008 or something? Wasn't Tenchu Z the last Tenchu? It had to have been like 15 years ago by now. A long time ago. I remember playing the demo for that. I think that's like the only FromSoft game I've played. Is that and the Ninja Blade demo. Who remembers Ninja Blade? That's their true magnum opus right there, Ninja Blade. QTE simulator. Are they gonna make another Ninja Blade? Armored Core is successful now. The sky's the limit. When's Ninja Blade 2? That's their true magnum opus in the waiting right there. I don't know if people even remember that they made that game. I think it was just one of those games that got hyped because it came out pretty early on, 360's lifespan. There weren't a lot of games to play. Then people played it and they didn't like that it was on QTEs. Yeah, it's a FromSoft game too, actually. Ninja Blade. I played it just because Ninja was in the title. I never bought it though. I only played the demo. I'm sure they're gonna get greenlit to make a Ninja Blade 2 now. It's their next project. Elden Ring DLC and then Ninja Blade 2. You heard it here first. I don't know if Tenchu will ever come back, honestly. I feel like stealth games are kind of dead. Armored Core, I think, just took so long to come back because, you know, they found a cash cow with the Souls games, and publishers, that's the only thing they want from them. But, yeah, I don't think Tenchu will ever come back. There's the Origami games. Those are basically like spiritual Tenchu clones. Play those if that's what you want, I guess. I don't know. Armored Core always had a higher chance of coming back than like something like Tenchu. The other thing that helps Armored Core 6's case is that Gundam games have been pretty shitty lately. Gundam games were pretty good for a while. We had the Extreme Versus port for PS4, and then we had Gundam Breaker 3. But then, like, after that, it's been like a major decline. So I feel like that's helping Armored Core's case. Because Gundam games have not stopped being around. It's been Armored Core that hasn't been around. Gundam games have been pretty crappy for a couple years now. Gundam Evolution seemed decent for what it was, but it's one of those things that people didn't actually want. People wanted like Extreme Versus to get a port, or like Gundam Breaker 3 to get ported, and we didn't get that. So Armored Core is coming in a very good time, despite being in a very stacked time of the year for like big releases. Gundam games are kind of on a really steep decline right now. Extreme Versus port was cool, but it got outdated really quickly. They haven't done another one since. So that's kind of hurt things a lot as well. Tenchu was outsourced, really? Who did they outsource it to? I never knew that. Yeah, those are some bargain bin Japanese developers there. But outside of From, of course, they're like a very prolific developer. But yeah, Acquire is generally making a lot of like budget games. Samurai Spirit Sen, yeah, I remember that game. Kind of like Tamsoft. Tamsoft makes like one good game like every 4 games they put out. I think the last thing Acquire put out was Samurai Maiden, which seems like a very generic, average at best character action game, but it's like way more expensive than the really good ones, so no one bought it. I think somebody in my community bought that game. I'm like, yeah, man, that game doesn't look worth 60 bucks. I'm sorry. Even if you're just like completely starved of action games to play, that doesn't seem worth the asking price. Mega expensive. Tamsoft hasn't put anything out in a while. I think the last thing they did was that Senran Kagura Neptunia crossover, which is like a terrible game. So they're due for the Tamsoft cycle. They're due for a good game now. So I'm excited. They had one announced a while back. I forget what it was called, but it's been like vaporware. Maybe they like canceled it or something. But that game looked pretty cool. Looked like the logical progression in the Tamsoft cycle. Like the game actually looked pretty legit. And then they put out that Senran Kagura collab game instead, which is like awful. Even for Senran Kagura standards. Those games are already not great, but that one looked like really bad. Tamsoft helped out with Melty Blood. Wow, I did not know that. Good trivia. Yeah, I think they're doing like more like contract work now, maybe. Kind of like Tri-Ace. You all know Tri-Ace games don't sell, so I think they're staying afloat by taking commissions, like helping with contract work and stuff. I know Phantasy Star Zero was made by Tri-Ace. The weird like PSO2 spin-off that's on Vita. That game was made by Tri-Ace. It's outsourced. Not Zero, but Nova. Zero was the DS one. Sorry. I don't know, I need to go back and finish the new Star Ocean, but I just felt like that game was missing a lot of stuff that you would expect a JRPG to have. You know, like, they still don't have a New Game Plus or anything. It's like, I get that Star Ocean's never really had a New Game Plus outside of, like, the battle trophies, but it's just like, come on, you gotta get with the times. You gotta get with the times. They have 2 characters in the game and they have New Game Plus. It's become, even in like non-Tales JRPGs, it's become like pretty common to have that kind of stuff. And when you don't have it, people are gonna complain. I mean, they have every right to. Tales was kind of the series that kind of encouraged. Tales and Chrono Trigger were like the big ones that had New Game Plus. like most people are only going to play through the game once to begin with, just because JRPGs are a huge time investment. And then, like, if you don't have New Game Plus, they're not even going to bother playing the other characters. You got to think if it's really worth having 2 different character routes to play if there's no New Game Plus, because it's going to be a time investment for people to play the game even once, right? Kind of weird, just like not really wanting to evolve the game much. I feel like that kind of thing would be a no-brainer. It'd be pretty easy to add. No New Game Plus. I don't think the characters' storylines are much different. It's kind of like the other Star Ocean games that have that, but it's still like, come on, man. In 2023, you don't have a New Game Plus? Like, at some point, you gotta realize that there have been some advancements with the genre. Onii-Chanbara Origin was really good. I really liked that game. That was like the last good Tamsoft game. That game is solid. Not like the best action game ever, but for the price, it was pretty good. Enjoyable game. They can make good stuff when they want to, it's just a lot of times they don't want to. Their stuff, they have very inconsistent quality. They're like the go-to guys for budget action games, but a lot of times you get what you pay for. I think Senran Kagura is just kind of dead now because of Sony censorship. Like, those games weren't really good anyway. They were always average at best. The last one was probably the best one gameplay-wise, because they had the universal parry. It felt pretty good to use. But it was still like low-tier Uso game for sure. Nothing to really go out of your way to play. I heard they were working on a new Senran Kagura, but I guess like they got stopped by the weird Sony censorship rules or whatever. Sony's becoming like Nintendo. I think a lot of it is because those games only sell on PlayStation. The Switch is not powerful enough to run them, and then no one would buy it on Xbox. So I guess that's what killed Senran Kagura. You don't think that would be as much of a problem, but I wouldn't be surprised if Senran Kagura comes back like on the Switch successor. Pretty high chance, I think. Nintendo is weird now. They don't care about censorship anymore. They have so many like softcore hentai games on there, just like blatant softcore hentai from like mobile or something. But I feel like the crappy Switch hardware really put the Tamsoft in a rough spot. Yeah, we can't really make the game on the Switch, and Sony won't let us make it, so the series just kind of died. Hopefully the next one has better gameplay. I think those games have trash gameplay. It's pretty funny that Sony is like Nintendo from when I was a kid. Yeah, it's sweat in Mortal Kombat instead of blood. And they were coached to bring back red sweat. If anyone remembers that. The whole Jack Thompson thing about Mortal Kombat. So Nintendo took out the blood. And then you could use a Game Genie code to get back the blood. Yeah, now Sony is basically the old Nintendo. The floodgates are just opened on the eShop now. There's like hentai succubus games and stuff on there now. I'm like, man, it's hard for me to process as an OG Nintendo gamer from like the late 80s, early 90s. They just have straight up softcore hentai on there. And then like they can't do Senran Kagura anymore because of Sony. That's really, really freaking weird. I never thought I'd see the day. It's even more of a head spinner than when Sonic started being on Nintendo and Xbox. Like, yeah, Nintendo's, just put your softcore hentai on our family-friendly device. We don't care. And then Sony's like, you can't do Senran Kagura anymore. Disembowel somebody in Mortal Kombat, but anime boobs is unacceptable, clearly. Double standards. Switch is actually pretty depressing right now. If you look at the eShop, there's like maybe like every couple dozen games there's like an actual something that looks like it had effort put into it. Most of it is shovelware now. It's just like the Wii. It's the Wii all over again. Shovelware City. That's what happens when you make weak hardware. It attracts shovelware developers. You notice how there's like much less shovelware on like the PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, I think this is like the last year for major releases for the Switch. I really think that they're ramping up for an announcement really soon, maybe by the end of this year. But there's two things that lead to it that don't involve the leaks at all, that they've been working on one. The first is that the last Nintendo Direct, they really don't have anything major. They have a couple things for the holiday, but none of them are going to be like super big. They're basically still relying on Pokemon Scarlet, Violet, and Tears of the Kingdom to sell units. But like the sold units of the Switch has gone down quite a bit actually. It was pretty much the same thing when the Wii U was on the way out. They had like one last Direct, and it was like not bad games by any means, but you could tell that they weren't like putting out any more like blockbusters. They were like really trying to wind things down. That's the impression I got from the last Direct. There's probably going to be like one more this year, but I don't expect them to have any more Megatons. I think the Megaton era of the Switch is on the way out. Really seems like it. Hey, no miss clear. No miss. That was a no miss clear. Since this is a forced 1cc, that's like the best you can get. No miss clear. No miss clear. Wow, 2.24 million. I think that's number one on the leaderboard. Because I got 250k for having all the extends. Yeah, that was a good run. It only took 40 minutes too. Not bad. Hell yeah, we're putting our name in. That's first place. No, second place. Second place just barely. Hey, good enough for me. Yeah, no miss roguelike mode clear is pretty hard. I think taking all the rage generation and the execution healing might be really good for score, because you get an extra 250k for a no miss. But yeah, I had 10 extends. GG's. We're definitely not doing another one of those, because I can't top that. That's the end of this game for tonight. Peak gameplay. How crazy is it we're getting 2 beat-em-up roguelike modes in existing beat-em-ups within a literal week of each other, because next week is Turtles. Turtles gets a roguelike mode next week. Like, what the hell, man? Are beat-em-up developers starting to realize that they have like better gameplay than most action roguelikes, and all you have to do is just use existing assets and add some items? And it's like better than a lot of the other stuff. So it seems like they're starting to catch on. Is Ultra Age got a mode like that, which is really good. Streets 4, Turtles, Dawn of the Monsters, like they all have roguelike modes. It's like, yeah, it should have that. It should be something you think of. Not everybody wants to play through the campaign over and over, but they will play through like a roguelike mode, you know, something you can beat in an hour or less. People will play that. It's a really good thing to see. I hope that more beat-em-ups get that. I don't think any of the existing ones will, but probably in the future they'll start considering doing that stuff. Yeah, Turtles is in 5.5 days. Turtles DLC. Yeah, I think Turtles and Dawn of the Monsters needed it the most. Dawn of the Monsters, before they did this update, the problem with that game is it's too long to beat in one sitting, because it's like a couple hours. But then, there's not really anything else to really do. The problem with Dawn of the Monsters was they had all the builds and stuff, but if you tried to use them at the beginning of the game, you just kill everything in like a couple punches, so it wasn't really fun. Turtles, the problem is that the campaign in that is pretty long. It's like 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on your skill level. So, it was too long for a lot of people. Like, it's a good game, but it kind of overstayed its welcome for a lot of people. So, people kind of fell off it pretty fast. There were other problems as well, but the length of the game was definitely an issue. I think Turtles needs it a little bit less than Dawn of the Monsters. Dawn of the Monsters has, like, RPG mechanics and stuff, and they had, like, no New Game Plus or post-game mode or anything. So you could just play, like, make builds and stuff, and you had nothing to use them on. It's just kind of like, a lot of the Muso games, like the Orochi games. The first version of every Orochi game always has, like, no reason to, like, really make like powered up characters. You kind of just beat the game with what it gives you. But then they add like harder scenarios and more like progression systems and stuff. Dawn of the Monsters definitely had the same problem as the Orochi games. You know, they have like 100+ characters, there's nothing to use them on. That's kind of how Dawn of the Monsters was. Turtles is more just like, it's a long game. Compared to the other beat-em-ups, it's pretty long. It's definitely longer than Streets 4 by probably like 30% or more. I'm talking about like casual play, not like a speedrunner, but like a normal person or like an above average player Streets 4 is like maybe an hour, hour 10. Shredder's Revenge is like an hour and a half long. It's good to see, though. It's like, yeah, you have a game that would make a good roguelike, and it wouldn't take that much work. You'd mostly just be recycling stuff you already made. And you can sell it for money. You can sell it for money and make, like, probably most of the people that bought it will buy it. And then you'll have some people that will buy it just for that mode. I could see a lot of families really liking the roguelike mode in Shredder's Revenge. Just pick up and play, have like all your friends there and everything. And Shredder's Revenge has the best netcode out of any modern beat 'em up. Streets 4 netcode is pretty bad. A lot of the other beat 'em ups don't even have like native net play at all, so it has that going for it too. But yeah, it would be awesome if more of these beat 'em ups coming out just had a mode like that at launch. But Dawn of the Monsters especially already had like, that game already had like items and builds and stuff that you could make, kind of like a, you know, like a Souls game or Diablo or Armored Core that just came out. You can make builds. So, I mean, they literally just recycled all the boss fights. They made some unique spawns, and that's it. But the stuff that was already in the game makes it really fun and replayable. It's like, yeah, that's worth $7. If you like the game and you want more of it, I think they give you just enough content for $7. It's less content than Streets 4 for sure, because Streets 4 was like, I think it was like $8 for 3 characters and survival. So it's less content, but I think the builds are a lot more interesting in Dawn of the Monsters than the Streets 4 roguelike mode. Streets 4 roguelike mode kind of just evolves into just spamming the same move over and over. It really feels like in Dawn of the Monsters, you're making like more important decisions. And certain things are good on some characters and certain things aren't good on them and vice versa, which I think really helps as well. But yeah, I got money on my Steam account for the Turtles DLC, so when they put that up for purchase, we'll be checking that out. And that game works on the Steam Deck as well, so I'll probably alternate between BlazBlue, Dawn of the Monsters, and Turtles on those streams, because all those games run perfectly. Dawn of the Monsters has a little bit of slowdown sometimes, but nothing that you can't really get past. I actually never finished the base game of this. I got to the end, and then I unlocked this mode, which you unlock at like the point of no return, and I never went back and finished it. The base game has some pretty crappy bosses, like the standard gimmick bosses that like you can't hurt them until you get to like a certain point. It really bogs it down. But in this mode, they only recycle the bosses that aren't gimmick bosses. Like, you know, just hit them until they die kind of thing. It actually works quite well. The actual campaign is a mixed bag, but, you know, they give you this, so I think all is forgiven in my eyes. They tried to get a little too spectacle, like Bayonetta, with some of the bosses, and it kind of hurts the campaign overall. 'Cause you get a couple really good bosses, and then there's a couple that are just like, you know, I don't like these kinds of bosses. I don't think there was a New Game Plus either, so kind of suffered from Star Ocean syndrome. You have like all these upgrades and stuff, and you can't use them when you play the game again. So it's just like, why even have the upgrades at all? But they give you this, so it's like, yeah, it's whatever. As far as I'm concerned, everything is secondary compared to this mode. I feel like it's going to be really hard to make a good action roguelike now, because there's games like this that... And this was free, by the way. I should mention that. I don't know how many people actually bought this game, as it wasn't super popular, but this was free. They didn't charge for this. It was free DLC. And it's like better than a lot of the competition for sure. It definitely does not have the variety of like a paid roguelike for sure. I won't deny that. But the core gameplay is a lot better than stuff you have to actually pay for. This was a free update, so as long as you bought the base game, you got this. You don't have to pay anything. The roguelikes have been kind of in a crap spot, honestly, in my opinion. Ever since Vampire Survivors got popular, these games have gotten like way worse. So I think it's good to see. Like, yeah, you can make a roguelike better than a lot of the competition because you made a good action game first. You made a good action game first, or at least above average. Because an above average action game like this is still better grounds for a roguelike than a lot of native roguelikes for sure. game is solid. It's pretty sad that the best action roguelikes now are side modes in like beat 'em ups and character action games. That's pretty much the decline of action roguelikes, I think. It's like, yeah, once they start putting modes like that and just straight beat 'em ups and character action games, action roguelikes just aren't as good. I haven't been excited for an action roguelike since BlazBlue Entropy Effect, which I've been following for months. That game is definitely a really huge cut above all the other games right now, for sure. We're still in the Vampire Survivors craze. There's like just way too many of those. Let's see if anything's coming out, actually. Let's look. Maybe there's like an actual good roguelike on the way. Copium. Probably not. Well, the Metal Gear games are coming to PC. I think they're doing all of them but Revengeance Rising. I wonder if they'll actually be good ports, or will they be the standard retro game port where the emulator is still better. I hope not. I think those games deserve to be preserved legally, but very hard to tell until somebody gets their hands on it. I hear the Switch version of those games is 30 FPS, which is nuts. Switch should be able to do up to Metal Gear Solid 3 of 60. So, it's a bad sign for sure. Let's see, they got any roguelikes coming? So it's just another Survivors clone, isn't it? Yep, about what I expected. Pass. Another Survivors clone. This is that Inti Creates one that actually looks not that great. I'm not going to be buying that one. This one looks really good. I'm excited for this one. This looks like an actual game, not a Survivors clone. This one looks really legit. I don't know when it's coming out, but I've been following this one for a while. I know, generic anime chick, I'm not really fond of, but the combat looks pretty damn good. This looks like the kind of shit I would sink like 80, 100 hours into. This is probably the best one coming out for a while. Actual gameplay. It's not another Survivors clone. Well, yeah, I'm very excited for this one. Kind of wish they had like a demo or something, but no, I guess they're I guess they're gonna withhold their greatness. Oh, it looks like it says March. Huh. Oh yeah, this one looked cool too. I forgot about this one. This one looked pretty cool. It's like a Wizard of Legend type game. There's like no cooldowns in this game, I think. Wasn't that the gimmick in this game? Yeah, you like just dodge to get there's no cooldowns, which sounds cool, but I feel like the problem with this could be like jank hitboxes. If you get hit from stuff that's like a character length away, then the game will basically be ruined. But yeah, this game looks really cool as well. This is another one I'm looking forward to, but there's no release date yet. Yeah, that's like two good games out of here. Oh yeah, this one as well. This one, Yasha, looks pretty cool. Kind of like an action RPG camera angle, but like more involved combat. Looks pretty solid so far. I'm really excited for this one too. Oh yeah, this game too. This might be legit. I forgot about that one. We'll add that to the wish list. Yeah, they only got like 30 seconds of gameplay, so I don't know if that one will be worthy. No, this game looks pretty bad. And the art style is nice, but the gameplay looks pretty average at best. I'm not going to be playing this one. I'm not into the whole monster girl thing, so you need to have some real solid gameplay. It looks not great. Like, why would you play that over Streets 4? Toxic Crusaders as well. I played the demo for this. I hated it. Beautiful pixel art. Nice presentation. The gameplay was just boring. But they're pretty far off, so maybe they'll add like more mechanics to it or something. But yeah, I wasn't really impressed. It's kind of one of those games like Turtles, where like the graphics, the presentation's really good, but the gameplay is like, I don't know, not that great. It's not bad. It's just, you know, if you're gonna pay money for something like that, it should be at least on par with something you already have, right? That's my reasoning, at least, when I look for games to play. It's like, yeah, if this is worse than something I already have and it costs more, it's kind of a hard sell. Yeah, next few months look pretty barren. There should be TGS pretty soon. Hopefully there'll be some stuff there that I'll like, but kind of hard to tell. There'll probably be a Musou game announced at TGS, most likely, for like next year. So probably all signs point to it being either another franchise Musou game, but I don't really know what it could be, because they can't make another One Piece. They're not going to do another Gundam. I don't think they would do another Hyrule Warriors as well. I mean, I guess that's kind of a slight possibility. So it's probably going to be Dynasty Warriors 10. It's probably what we're going to hear about next. And I think that game will actually get announced this year. Hopefully with actual gameplay and not a CG trailer, but that's pretty likely to get announced this year. And then probably like first or second quarter next year they'll release that game. I think that Dynasty Warriors 10 is probably like less than a year away, most likely. But we'll see, I guess. The Metal Gear port will probably be fine on PC, but it's up to interpretation if it will be better than the emulated versions. We've gotten a couple really good ports lately for retro games. You got the Mega Man Zero ZX collection. The Castlevania Advance collection was also really good. They're like the best ways to play those games outside of ROM hacks, which you still need the emulator for. They've been relatively decent lately, but I feel like if anybody's gonna shit the bed, it would be Konami. I think the one that's gonna matter the most is gonna be Metal Gear Solid 4, because I think that game doesn't really run that well on emulators right now. It's like the hardest one to play, so I think it's really going to hinge on if the Metal Gear Solid 4 port is good. Because if the one for 3 in Peace Walker is shitty, you know, they have the HD collection on PS3, so you could just go emulate that. But I think it's going to look really bad if Metal Gear Solid 4 is a crap port, because that's never been ported to anything else. It's always been PS3 exclusive, and it's like the literal end of the story. So I think they really got to get their shit together for that port above all else, because the other ones, I mean, you can play those, you can emulate them. MGS4, despite being like 70% cutscenes, is still going to be like the main attraction for a lot of people, I think. This PS4 has no backwards compatibility. It never got ported to Xbox. Literally only on one platform. So I think it'll be pretty funny if like all the ports are good, but the Metal Gear Solid 4 one, which is like the most important one for preservation's sake, because it's like the only one you can't easily play. Ninja Warriors port is really good as well. It's the best version of that game, just because you have a higher frame rate and you have virtual net play or co-op as well. You can play with Parsec, so it's the best version. They did a really good job with that port. I feel like they're mostly forgiven for taking like 4 years to port it because they actually did a good job. So I bought the game like twice before that, so I wasn't like really needing another version, but they added enough stuff that, you know, they improved the frame rate. They uncapped the frame rate rather, and then you can play online with friends with co-op. So I think that's worth the money. It's just going to be funny if the Metal Gear ports are bad. I fully expect them to be. I think part of the problem with the Metal Gear port as well is that they'll basically have to make a PS3 emulator for like 2 games. Which has hurt a lot of other retro collections. Like, a lot of retro collections have like really glaring games that aren't there because they would have to make an emulator for one game. And then like everything else is on like one platform. That's pretty much what happened with the IGS collection. It's like they could have easily put like Oriental Legend 2 and Knights of Valor 3 on there. It would have been huge to have that game in English, but they would have had to make another emulator for like 2 games only. And it's clear that they did not want to do that. So they put everything else in there but those. I feel like that's probably one of the things that prevented them from doing a Mega Man X collection for a long time, because they only like 25% of the games are on PS2, but they still had to make a whole like new emulator for them. That's one of the things you notice with retro collections. That there'll be like a really good game, like one of the latest games is like not on there, and it's because they only did like 1 on that platform, so, and they did like 6 on something else, so they're just like, yeah, we're not going to do that one, sorry. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of incomplete then, isn't it? If you're not putting the one that people actually want.
愛しきルフィ。敵は敵はその目で見極めなさい。
引き締めてかかる。
Oh, why is this so choppy? Is this game not playable in here? It's like really choppy. Is it compiling shaders? What the heck? Very strange. Alright, you good now? Or no? No, you're not good. The emulator is, having some respiratory issues. That's a little disappointing. Let me look at the compatibility for that game. That's really strange. I don't think that game should be like that hard to run. Let me look into this really quick. Well, that game works fine. Why is it so hard for it to run One Piece? Like, just like super like hammering the processor for some reason. like what the hell, man? That's weird. Ryujinx is better. It's better for some games. Yuzu is better overall, I think. Like, they have Bayonetta 3 support in Yuzu, but it runs worse than Ryujinx. So, if you want to play that game without the bad internal native resolution and everything, you have to play it in Ryujinx. But yeah, the Musou games on Ryujinx seem to be a kind of a crapshoot. They either work or they don't. It's very, very weird. Anyway, I'm done for now, folks. I gotta do some stuff. I might come back in a few hours. I gotta do some things, but after that, probably PGR and maybe some Musou games, since I did that no miss clear of Dawn of the Monsters earlier. Probably Blaze Blue or some Musou games we'll check out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I've been on for like 3 hours. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.